Oh, we brought it back this time. That's a cup full of ice. That means the time is nice. That means the time is right. It is now time for What's Good America on this wonderful. I'm going to tell you what day it is. It's Sunday. That don't mean you're going to get this episode on Sunday, but it's Sunday when we shooting it. I got a prerequisite to that because I ain't going to be in the office this whole week, and I don't want nobody to think I'm just sitting on my ass shooting these shows and not doing my damn job. So, it's Sunday. Anyway, I am one half of the dynamic duo, the pseudo-sexual, the mahogany chocolate god himself, Mr. Westside Jacksonville, Florida, C. Turner. Don't forget to say the dot, baby. Quarantine dad, super dad. Mind you, I want to point this out. I've been home alone for like a week now. My wife and the kids are in Denver. I have legitimately been eating like a 7-year-old for the last 3 days, and I'm fucking proud of myself. I've had chicken nuggets and raviolis like every day, and I'm so happy with it. I just want to point that out. And my right-hand man on my left-hand side, we still my left-hand man on my right-hand side, the South Side suburbs, Mr. Frito-Lay, the gainfully important, Mr. 401k, Big Game James, Madison, Walton. Don't forget to say the third, baby.
Hey, what's good, America? We back. Man, he's right. It is Sunday, man. And I'm telling you right now, I'm feeling real groovy, man. That's why I got the Mystery Machine shirt on today, you know what I'm saying? And that's the way we coming at you right now. I think he's got an appropriate bro take on. Just do it. That's what we're here to do, America. We're here to do exactly what you need us to do. And that's just talk about the shit that's happening. You know, stuff that happens in the news here or there. You know, when it comes to sports and this pop culture, I'm just going to be 100. They ain't going to break it down like us. Because, I mean, when you got things like this to fuel your fire, shout out to Screwball.
Yes.
Screwball, hey,
Screwball.
listen, I'm not ashamed. This was a 2 to 3 hour conversation with my brother last night. And we were just talking, and this is what I did, okay? This is how delicious this shit is. Uncle Julian, we're going to have you on the show. If you don't think Screwball's real, this shit is real, and this shit is real damn good, all right?
Go buy Screwball. Yeah. Telling you, and then once you drink it, at us, at me. That's all you got to do.
For real, man. So this is where we at, man. A little bit subdued, you know what I'm saying? It's been a good week. You know, worked a lot of hours, slept a shit ton today. The old lady's looking good right now, just walking around the house. So, let's get into it, man. Speaking of that, you know, that actually is appropriate, man. For
it's so appropriate. It's so appropriate.
I mean, I didn't even know I was going to do that smooth of a transition, but our topic is that's what we own. So, man,
it's almost like we could do this professionally.
I feel like we could, man. I mean, I could get rid of some of the curse words. Like, if the curse words are a problem sponsor, I can be cool. You know what I'm saying? I can limit myself to just.
We can do a clean show. We can.
Maybe it's just 1 or 2 White Claws during the show. Maybe 3. I can do that. Or, you know, maybe it's just a summer shandy. You know, like either way. Number one, any one of you guys, whether it's White Claw or, you know, Leg and Coos, you know what I'm saying? If you want to get behind us, we'll drink the shit out you know. But, you know,
there's a lot of marketing going on right now.
Yeah, I could have said drink the heck out you. So I just want to let that be known. But I think this show is going to be really, this right here is what's going to put us apart because, Chris, go ahead, bring it in, man, because they talked about it a little bit, but I know you've been wanting to talk about this. We just found the time today to be able to get together, man, because this is a bigger story than I think people understand. Like, let them have it, man. Tell them what's
all right, so before I get into it, what's the kid's name so I don't butcher it real quick? What's the kid's name?
I'm going to be honest with you. I just know he played in Seattle.
All right, so the Oklahoma State cornerback who was picked up by the Seattle Seahawks was caught bringing a young lady who I'm going to name for you right now. Her name is Regular Rhonda.
Rhonda?
Bruh, this is the most plain, basic girl I've ever seen in my life. Like, she
Regular
is
Rhonda?
Regular Rhonda.
Oh, my God.
So he was caught bringing Regular Rhonda into the NFL facility, the NFL bubble, the Seahawks bubble, whatever you want to call it. But he had her dress up like a employee of the Seahawks. Mind you, that was a collar shirt and some khakis, which made her look even more regular, made her look like a goddamn Old Navy employee. But he made regular Rhonda come see him at the Seahawks training facility and got his dumbass cut. You didn't get cut for an Instagram model. You didn't get cut for OnlyFans girl. No, you got cut for regular Rhonda. If you would have sit on your ass for 2 weeks, go through camp, and you would have made the team. Like, you were a preferred player on the team. You would have had your choice of chicks. But you wanted regular, you couldn't have waited. You wanted regular Rhonda for a conjugal visit. Like, there's no way. If you, oh God, okay. America, look at this girl's picture. It's like, I get, and I don't know the full backstory. Maybe they were college and high school sweethearts, and maybe I'm just being an asshole for talking about the love of this dude's life. Hey, at me, bitch. All I'm saying is, regular Rhonda cost you your dream. Because let's be honest, if you play college football, you want to play NFL football. So you let regular Rhonda cost you your job, your dream, something you've been wanting to do since you were a kid. Now your punk ass got to go get a 9 to 5.
This dude said regular Rhonda. I hope regular Rhonda trends everywhere.
Regular Rhonda.
Because look, like, I haven't even seen. Let's further talk about it. The fact that you let the chick get photographed is even worse of the incognito job. Can we can we be 100 about that? Like, you actually let some sort of picture of her get out too. You really was trying to get caught.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. There is no excuse for this. Like, look, trust me. Like, my wife is beautiful. Okay, she is gorgeous. Okay, but even I know I can I can abstain. I said substain. Yeah, I can substain her, but no, I can abstain if it comes to me being able to make certain kind of money that can change our lives. You know what I mean? It takes
forever.
In that team, in the position he's playing, it takes one season of playing good football at your position, and it can change your life. They've had so many guys that won Super Bowls and went on and played on other teams. So let's stop that. And let's be 100. Well, I can't speak for Chris because Chris went to Alabama. You know, different type of summer camp going on there. Let's just be 100. You know, let me give him his roses right now. The dude was dope. Okay. Not only Alabama, but Florida State too. We talk about two different entities there. When I'm talking about my experience at Truman State. When I was in summer camp with my guys, and we all even talked about this whole thing happening, and we were just thinking about the certain guys that would go there. And there was nothing on I actually, for those weeks, there was nothing that was like, you know what? I got to get this nut off. I didn't need PNC during camp. Like, that's the last thing I need is post-nut clarity while I'm in camp right now. I need to be pissed off every day.
The whole time.
There's nothing about two-a-days. You know, me and Chris are the last of the two-a-day era because they ended the two-a-days when me and him were in school. Matter of fact, I think it was your sophomore year is when they ended it.
Junior year, actually.
Yeah, so we didn't need to have post-nut clarity. Yeah, I told y'all that shit's a movement. That's not going anywhere. When Babe gets her hands on that PNC design T-shirt, I start wearing that every show with our And shoot, don't worry about it. I didn't work 70 hours, Chris. That might be just enough money to go ahead and get this trademark done. So I own the rights to PNC and post-nut clarity. Like, it's happening. I want that. But there's nothing in my mind as a player during camp. All I'm focused on is the camaraderie of my boys, getting that type of feeling, man. And you can't have that, you know what I'm saying? I've never made it to that level. But I even think about, our camps, when we were in Billings, you know what I mean? Like, it was about us trying to get to, especially in 09, because there were so many new parts to that team, And we just trying to figure out, man, do I even like this dude next to me? And for Chris Turner liked no one. So I think I think he was cool with Bonner because they were, frat line, same frat. So he could, that's the one guy he could talk to for the first month. But now hearing you describe what he did, that's how he dressed her up. I'll give him points for that. That's good effort to try to just, make her, put some khakis on her and put a collared shirt on her and probably put like a Seahawks hat. Look, I gotta give a couple points for that. But Chris hit something really big here. It'd be one thing if you were like a first or second round draft pick and you tried to do this thing. Okay. Like you're gonna have an opportunity to get picked up and they're gonna go, hey, listen, man. Like if you really want, it's the NFL. We've talked about this. They have car service for you. They provide you with things. So if you really, really needed that PNC that bad, I could just say PNC now and not be as nasty.
It's a thing, dude. Like PNC is a thing now. It's a movement.
It's kind of good now. Like it came off terrible in my give me a minute. Now I can just say PNC and I feel like I'm like being PC. Now, he could have called somebody, Chris, and like, hey, listen, like, look, y'all got to do something, man. We got to get somebody checked in here. Have her run the test, But you're a free agent. Like you need to just focus on. Go ahead, man. Like there's something.
That's my whole thing. Like, dude, you're a free agent. Like you. Listen, I don't. For those who don't understand, like the NFL, football itself is a boys' club, and if one team sees, damn, this dude can't control himself for 2 weeks. All the owners are friends. Like nobody's gonna be like, oh well, maybe if we bring him down to LA, you're going from Seattle to LA. So no, you're not gonna go. Like nobody's gonna give you a shot because you can't control your jump. Like,
hey, for regular Rhonda.
for regular Rhonda. Like it's like I said, this wasn't.
Crazy.
This wasn't the Instagram model. This wasn't the OnlyFans girl. This wasn't anything of the sort. Like this was.
She wasn't in the WAP video.
No, she was not in the WAP video. She might have been in the Taylor Swift video as one of the extras. Like this girl is the girl who like she joins the debate team. Like she's on the softball team, but she doesn't play. She's just on the team because her mom knows the coach. Like she's the girl where she's at the wedding, but she's like the fourth or fifth girl that after like you had a couple cancels or whatever, she's that girl you're like, okay, well, I guess she's cute enough to slide in to be in the pictures. Like she's that girl. Like she's that girl that you see in the mall and like, oh man, she's cute, but you don't look back to see like if she looks back at you. Like she's the girl that is the manager of Old Navy. It's like, oh man, she got her shit going good for herself, but damn, she's just at Old Navy. So nah, I'm not. Like she's just regular Rhonda.
But can we flip this though? She might be regular Rhonda, but like her status now may be beyond regular Rhonda status. Because think about it, she is now known as the chick that a dude in the league where they are trying to do everything in their power to have the season happen. She's that chick that had to be snuck in. Like, let's not act like
you. Okay. That's a very good point. So she could be that chick that this dude had to sneak in. At the same time, she could be that same chick that fucked up football.
Okay, I'll give you that. That's fair.
God forbid, now he tests positive, now that he's a civilian. He was still around the team for a good couple of days. Now, what if Russell Wilson has to sit out for 2 weeks? And now what? Now the center is now gone too, which means the two guards are gone. The defensive tackles are now probably gone too. So now for regular Rhonda has taken down 30% of the Seahawks.
Oh, and I did find his name. His name is Kama Sivaran.
Of course, he got a super black name. Of course he does. Of fucking course.
I mean, at this point, I'll put it to you this way. This is to give a reference of this. I mean, this story broke August 13th, like August 12th, August 13th. Like I'm looking at the date on ESPN here. So, that was 3 days ago, right? 4 days ago,
Right.
Somewhere in there. So if anybody else caught anything from this dude, we would know by now. Like that,
Yeah.
that'd be making the news because, but I'm gonna go back to this point of this chick has a chance now. If I was her and she's been photographed, she needs to go ahead and capitalize on this. This is like the 2020 version of Superhead. Like
true, very true.
Like what is it about her that made this dude risk his career?
It's true. It's so true. Honestly, in the couple days I've been thinking about it, I did not think about that.
I only thought about it right now. Like I'm like what is it? What does she do that you went through that type of trouble when you could have waited till September 8th and been good? Like September 8th is not that far away.
It's
like,
not.
It really isn't. And can we be 100? We talked about the collective bargaining agreement. How hard are these dudes practicing now?
They're not. Like, have you seen Hard Knocks?
No.
Dude.
No. Look, listen, just because I have 401k options now doesn't mean I got cable, Chris. I got a little bit of money, but America knows I'm still broke as shit. Like, let's be 100 about that.
All right. So,
but tell me what's going to be going
on Hard Knocks. So they work out hard in the morning or whatever. But you know what practice is? Practice is walkthrough with no pads on, wearing your mask. And they have to do that for the first 7 practices before they can even go hard out with like shoulder pads. And then you got to go an additional 7 days with just shoulder pads. So like everything for the first week and a half is just a walkthrough. That's it. Like, that's it. So to hit your point, because this shit's so frustrating. To hit your point, this chick has, if I was her, I would hire an agent right now because you could probably go to a lot of talk shows, or you could just go full right field with it and go straight into the porn industry.
It's got to be something, or get your ass on the Breakfast Club right now. Do something. You know what?
Capitalize.
Come on our show. Come on our show because I got some questions.
I got 1,000 questions, and I want the wife here with me to hear some of them.
Yeah,
so
Callie's going to be sitting right next to me when I ask these questions because the first one's going to be like, the fuck
what do you do?
This dude that he risked his I mean, do we even know if he got guaranteed money with that contract? Because, that free agent money is, was it usually about 10, 20?
It's usually anywhere from 7 to 25.
Yeah, it's somewhere there, 7 to 25. Now, I'm not, putting my nose up to $7,000 right now. $7,000 would be very nice.
No, not at all. Yeah.
But like, dude, like this, so that's the first way to look at it. Now I want to talk about what you said. And I was reading a little bit of an article just to find Kaman's name. I'm just going to say Kaman just because I ain't trying to butcher his name. And I could be butchering it now. But, I love to hear that about the way you said that too. You know what I mean? That whole sense of this dude could mess up the season. Like he could ruin it.
Yeah.
America, I need you to understand something. When Chris Turner, that's the point he thinks of on a topic like this, understand how bad we need this NFL season. Because that is not a normal Chris Turner thing.
No.
Chris Turner is usually, the guy that's like, hey, you know what, man? Ebbs and flows, rolls with the breeze.
Dude, I am an eternal optimist. Like, right. I see the silver lining in everything.
And for him to go the season, she could mess up the season. Because what if Russell Wilson gets it? Because now you got to add, and that's a great way to think about it. Because if Russell Wilson is all of a sudden now rusty coming into and he doesn't have his timing with his guys, and that's a guy that needs timing badly because they've assembled something there. Okay, not to really jump too far into like just Seahawks, but it's the one good thing I did in my fantasy draft last year was draft DK Metcalf. They got something with him, and I'm still shocked that dude didn't go in the first round. I just, 4.3 and NFL pedigree. You know what I mean?
He's Megatron, bro. Like let's call it what it is. He's the Walmart version of Megatron.
Listen, I put it this way: a talent like that, with his ability to run the 40 time that he runs, you can teach somebody like that to run a route tree. Yeah. But when you got a Tyler Lockett, and they've got some solid tight ends too, and they run the ball as well as they do, like you just need somebody that can stretch the field and win. All he's got to do is win 2 50-50 balls a game, and that's how they made that push in the end. So to Chris's point, Russell Wilson has things that he has not ever had. He's never had. That's the first year he's ever had that type of guy, and I don't know, and I didn't even check what's going on with Josh Gordon. But when he had Josh Gordon and DK Metcalf to go with Tyler Lockett, like imagine if Josh Gordon would have held up. Like I don't know where he's at, but to have those two big ass dudes outside and have Tyler Lockett.
Well, hold on. So here's the thing. This is what I like about the Seahawks. This is why I am a closet Seahawks fan. Seahawks,
they're likable. Like it's
right. They're a very likable team.
Shout out to my guy Stevie Peterson. He's the biggest Seahawks fan I know. Stevie P, what's up, baby?
So two things. One, like the Seahawks have no problem, and they've worked out Antonio Brown and then Josh Gordon and Dez Bryant in the past couple of months. Which means you could pick up two of those three for the minimum.
Yeah.
Like you could pick up 2 of the 3 for the minimum. And like these are arguably Hall of Fame guys, which you can argue if you give them a couple more years. And 2, just to get back to PNC, if Russell Wilson can abstain is the word we want to use.
This is actually, go ahead. I just want to agree with you 100.
If he
a million%. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You are making the point of points right now.
From Sierra. Automatic, systematic, like funky, like if he can abstain from Sierra, who is top 5 one of Atlanta's baddest chicks. If he can abstain from that, you mean to tell me regular Rhonda can get in the door, but like Russell Wilson like has to say bye to Sierra? Come on, man.
Hey, should we trademark regular Rhonda before she somehow hears?
I feel like we should.
Trying to put that in my PNC. I'm gonna start trademarking all sorts of shit. Regular Rhonda, PNC, post nut clarity. Just get a whole bunch of phrases. What's Good America needs to own this shit.
Like you go, man. Listen, this man goes home to Sierra, Future's ex-girl. Like this, the man's so dope. He took Future's kid and now he made him a suburban kid. Like your dad was a dope boy, and now your dad's an NFL quarterback, and now you're an NFL quarterback stepson, and now you're a suburban kid. And then he knocked you up like 7 more times in the last 6 years. Like. If this man can keep his hands off of Sierra for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you see what the NBA is doing. The NBA has allowed like one guest. They don't want to say female because they don't want to make it sexist or anything like this. But they're allowing one guest, once they get tested and once they get cleared, to come in and visit you, but they have to be tested and cleared and all this other shit, and there's only one person. That's just a fancy way of saying, like, dudes, listen, I know y'all are balling for us. Y'all are getting us our money back. the TV ratings are honestly pretty fucking high for what's going on.
And especially from what's been done. And we're gonna talk about that. America, this could be a long ass video stream because I know when it's just two people, we don't get caught up 40 minutes. Like Chris he actually brought up other topics. You're gonna love how freestyle this show is today. But keep going.
Yeah. But if the NBA is saying, like, listen, I appreciate what y'all doing, and I know it's hard right now. We're gonna allow y'all to get a piece of ass. And they're letting the wives and side chicks and all of that in as long as they can pass the test. Like, mind you, not to go too deep in detail because I don't need no questions in my personal life or in my marriage, but they're in Orlando. Like, do you know how much ass, international ass, is in Orlando? I can tell stories that, mind you, don't coincide with, like, my marital timeline or my dating of my wife timeline, but, like, other people timelines. Orlando? Listen, they're in Orlando, okay? Like, it's international ass in Orlando. All you had to do as an NFL player is just wait. Like, dude, like, Russell Wilson has Sierra. Like, you're in Washington. There's this fucking idiot, dude. Like you ruined your dream for regular Rhonda. Yeah. And you got to be that guy for the rest of your life. Hey, welcome to the IFL,
nigga. You know what? I mean, I love this show, dude, because literally you brought up another topic that I'm going to get into for sure, but I want to say in the future, I think we need to have a Russell Wilson show, and we need to talk about really what has happened to him. Because let's be 100. I'm going to preface it with this. Did he not play the best football of his life last season in his entire career? The dude was the MVP until the last couple of weeks.
Sure.
Lamar Jackson just took it.
Well, that's the thing about it. Like, he's always in that race.
Yeah,
always.
But of all the seasons, like he was.
Last year was tough.
I do want to talk about Russell Wilson in a different time frame. It doesn't really kind of fit the mood I'm in because we've been shitting on regular Rhonda. Well, actually, and that shit's funny to me. I'm sorry. I hope when I come up there in a few weeks, all of a sudden people are like, oh, look at that regular Rhonda over there. I hope this is a movement as well, too. Let's just start.
It is, dude.
Let's just start movements again. That's what's missing in this world. You know what I'm saying? We used to be all about movements, you know what I'm saying, 3 or 4 years ago. And, and then the hashtags became too much. So, but listen, you brought up a guy and we talked about we were in a freestyle just to the next segment. Basically, come on, Severan, you dumb as hell. Let's just the end of that.
That's it.
But I want to transition to this because you brought up a name, and I know me and the fiance have talked about it. Just because she knows her shit when it comes to football. Another reason why I'm married. That's why you hear me say fiance and wife and all that shit. It's just the same word. But Antonio Brown's name, you bringing that up, I do want to talk about him because I feel like the things now that we know what's going on with him, this is the guy that can swing it. He can swing it. He can swing. When I'm talking like that team goes from they made the playoffs to, all right, now they're in the realm of Kansas City. Okay.
Well, hold on. Let me stop you before you get going quick. I just want to ask one question before you get to going real good. Say they pick up Antonio Brown. He goes through past COVID tests, gets in shape, and mentally he's where he was about 7 years ago. Okay? Mentally and physically. Who do you double cover? What defense do you run to stop him and DK?
See? Now, so you're saying if Antonio Brown ends up in Seattle, this is where I get to actually kind of show that I actually, really know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah, because the whole receiver thing is you. Like, I don't know. All I know is you niggas end up open sometimes, and that's all I know.
All right. So I'm going to preface this a couple ways. One, because I understand in our lifetime. And I'm just going to use the 2 years that we played together. Okay. I'm not going to use anything else. And it's not going to be some braggadocious shit. I'm not that drunk. So we're good. Okay. But this is what happens. Okay. And that's what I'm talking about. Don't trust it. By about an hour and a half in, the slurring will start to happen. I'm not tripping, but that's why we're doing the show so early, so I can take my ass to bed. 4:30 calls. Hey, when Frito-Lay says get your ass here at 4:30, I ain't messing up these checks. I ain't trying to get that foot in my ass in my house. Yeah, y'all don't even know. She runs this house. Now, this is what happened, okay? And I'm gonna break this down for you guys very simply as to this, okay? And trust me, I'm not coming from a braggadocious place. Like, it's not that at all. I've had plenty of shows where I've done that, but I understand what this does to teams. Chris Turner was around for this. The first part of our year in 09, we were beating up on teams, the first 3 or 4 games, because they just didn't, talent-wise, have the ability to deal with us, because we had the best player in the league, Chris Dixon. You had the best other player in the league, myself. See, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say you had 1A and you had 1B. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Because we're doing a live show. I can't wait to sit with the MVP, man, and just talk.
That's coming. That's coming.
Just talk football. We're just going to go off, and, that's going to be a special one. I think we'll all be together. But when you've got 1A, Chris Dixon, you got 1B, James Walden, at that point in our league, it just doesn't matter. And then you had Robert Reed, best mind in the game. And then you had Coach O, the best coach to manage personality. Rhonda to me is the Phil Jackson of our league.
Yeah, facts.
Phil Jackson to and everybody that watched The Last Dance, the Bulls ran one play. The Lakers ran one play. It was basically triangle motion. Phil didn't have to manage basketball. He had to manage egos and personalities. And the greatest coaches, you see that. Greg Popovich is like that. Steve Kerr has become like that because he's from this tree. Phil Jackson, of course, Red Auerbach in the old days was like that. John Wooden, college basketball like that. Nick Saban, I have to give him credit, has the ability. That's how you win 5 national championships. You manage egos and personalities, even if they're kids. Like that's what makes. So we had that in 09. Like there was no doubt. And then when you add guys like a Chris Turner, you have the Mike Landry, the Mike Bazemores that were already there, the Gaddafi Tunzels that were there. You bring in Charles Anthony, who was ready to step in and go, this is my year. Charles had the quietest 30 touchdowns I've ever seen, by the way. Tim Brown, Mania Smith, the best O-lineman to ever play in this league. You know what I mean? Like you had all these personalities and everybody looking for different things, and I'm leaving out names. Michael Levy was Rookie of the Year that year. You had Fitz come on later in the season and pick off 8 passes. Muhammad Shams-Shadeen. Okay, we'll do the Outlaw show later. Now
that's coming. That's coming from when you get here. That's coming.
So when it comes to what I dealt with being like, I had basically been double covered for a year prior, and the reason why I worked in Bloomington is I played with 2 guys, Glenn Johnson, who played in the NFL, played at IU, and Darren Graham, who played in the AFL, big money AFL, and played at IU. And then I played with Reggie Gray, who's arguably one of the top 10 greatest indoor wide receivers.
Big game Reggie, yeah.
Okay. And then when we were there, and I need to wish him a happy birthday. I'll do it on here, and I'm going to text him. Jamie January, he was young. I think Jamie was 21. He did
big hands.
Big hands January. Happy birthday to you, JJ. And I'm going to give you a shout later. I'll just give you a text or a call or something like that. I had him, and he was up and coming, and he's done his thing. I'm very proud of him as well, everything he's done. But we never really had that other third guy. And when we went to Omaha, that was our first loss of the year.
Yep.
But they beat us because they said, we'll take number 6 out of here, and Chris is going to somebody's have to win man-to-man, okay? And then we got Robert Red, and it was ball game after that. Because Robert Red, shout out Robert Red, is one of the coolest to ever do it. and also played in the NFL for 3 years. I had the luxury of playing with a lot of NFL guys. You know, let's just call a spade a spade. It's easy to catch a lot of touchdowns when you play with motherfuckers that are that cold. Okay, so how I preference this to that, and Eric McCain as well, made it easier. Now you couldn't do anything, and then you had Chuck and Tim in the background. So this is what happens. Okay, you put Antonio Brown, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett on the field at the same time.
What do?
You cannot double cover anybody. That's the answer. That was it took me 5 minutes to get to that. The answer is this. If I was the Seahawks, you have a guy here, and why I bring him up, he has no choice but to go back to being 6th round Antonio Brown. Number one, you've been suspended for 8 games.
Yep.
Number two, you got your money, but you don't have your money at the same time. You need a season where you can go help a team, get them at least to a championship game.
Yep.
That one last contract, they'll guarantee you some money, and it's going to give you that chance to be first ballot, which he was on pace to do, you know, at this point. So with that in Seattle, you bringing that up, and how well they run the ball, and Russell Wilson's ability to keep the play going. He's one of the best, if not the best, at scrambling because he wants to throw touchdowns.
Yeah, he doesn't want to run it.
There is nothing more exciting to a wide receiver than a quarterback that will run around and do all that crazy shit,
and then still throw that.
But never cross the line of scrimmage because he's looking for you just to be able to break, and he can just fire that baseball arm that he has, an underrated arm. So
I agree.
That's what it does, and for that. So I think, you know, it's a team like Seattle that you basically you almost book them for the playoffs at this point, right? You almost just go like, as long as that guy number 3 plays 16 games. Well, at this point now it's 17 games they're playing, I guess, or is it 18? 17, 18.
17. It's an 18-week season.
Yeah, 18.
17 games.
17 games. If that guy plays all 17 weeks, they're going to win, you know, no less than 9 games. That's just who he is. If he plays. Because that's what quiet as kept. That's what he's done his entire career. He's played every week.
Mm-hmm.
Made the playoffs every single year. Okay? So I think there's certain teams. I think that's a great one you bring up. Another team where it could swing them is right here where I'm at. If Antonio Brown came to the 49ers. Because they were looking at it. They just couldn't, you know. And think about Antonio Brown, you know. I think I think Deebo Samuel's out for the year, which was a big blow because Deebo was huge. And you just signed Kittle. Shout out George Kittle. We talked about him. I'm glad he got his money. I think he got like $40 million guaranteed. He deserves every penny. You know,
like I think he got his right after Kelsey got his, right?
Yeah.
Like it was around like the same day or two, like they got theirs.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes is the real MVP at this point. Let's just call it.
Oh, very much so. Like when you leak, and I don't mean to cut you off, but
no, go ahead, man.
As a matter of fact, I'll make it personal. I just had my yearly evaluation for work. And I'm asking because they asked how much I want to get paid, like what do I think my raise should be. I threw an absurd number out there because I want every last dollar that I can possibly get. I'm not worried about the team. I'm not worried about the infrastructure of the company. I don't give a damn about none of that. I'm trying to make sure that if I want to go out and buy a pair of foam posits or up-tempos or Jordans, I got the money to do it, and my wife will never fucking know. Patrick Mahomes left money on the table to build a dynasty. So whether they win all 17 games or they go 14-3, that man is the MVP because he said, you know what? Yeah, I got $500 million, but I left enough money on this table so that we can still win. Go ahead.
Dude, I mean, yeah, we've been talking about doing that show too. But that's the truth of it. Am I upset when it comes to him, you know, doing that bullshit contract? So absolutely. But as a teammate, do I absolutely love what he did?
Yeah, very much so.
100%. As a
Very
teammate,
much
that was, and he's the guy. He's the reason why everybody's gonna sing the Black National Anthem in week 1. He got on that video, and that's what did it. Okay.
I honestly, I think it speaks to, and not to go into this shit, and I'm gonna touch on it, and then I'm gonna get the hell off of it really quick.
We're gonna go back to Antonio Brown. I wasn't trying to go there,
but I think it comes to because he comes from money.
Yeah,
he's never really had to struggle or go without because his dad played professional baseball, so like money's always kind of been around. Whereas if you go to Antonio Brown, if he was in that situation, a kid from Miami who grew up in the muck, like who grew up in similar surroundings like I did, anytime you get a chance to grab that bag, fuck everybody else, I'm going to get it. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's a good point, man. And that's what we're here to do, is to really let this be understood on our platform where we can't be interrupted. Because
no.
Now, so that's another team. You know, I think about the Niners, you know, with the stadium being down the street. I mean, another team. I mean, there's so many teams where you look at them and go, like, they're playoff contenders. He goes there. Shit, it's a problem. If he goes
to anybody in the NFC West, like that whole little division, like if they get any one of the three, but especially Antonio Brown,
there's only one team he can't go to, and he doesn't fit their system, and it's the Rams. Actually, the Rams and the Cardinals. I don't like it. I love what the Cardinals have right now. They made their choice. They got their Antonio Brown. They're good.
I like him with the Cardinals though, because if Kyler Murray breaks out and that defense just takes one step up, the kid has enough arm to just drop it deep.
Okay. See, now here comes the humble brag. Now here it comes. See, there's a weird dynamic with a lot of these guys right now in this league that I do like. It's very competitive. Chris, it takes a special mindset to be what I was in Billings.
I agree.
Nobody has that mindset because I went for a year where I've said this, and Chris knows this, and Chris Dixon knows this too, because me and him, that's just us. We were competitive. We were trying to win the MVP in 2008, you know, and I remember what that did to me to lose a championship. I got nothing out of it. I always wanted the championship was 1A and the MVP was 1A. I guess you could add a second A. I'm not going to say that 1A, 1B. I was trying to be the MVP of the league and win the championship. And that was basically in that order the way I said it, because you get MVP awards first in our league, then you win.
Yep. So, very true.
I was trying to be the MVP and then go on a run in the playoffs and help that Bloomington team in 2008, one of my favorite teams I played on, you know, win. But when I got to Billings and I knew I was playing with the reigning MVP who went on to win the MVP the next year, all I said is, dude, I've tried that, and that's never really who I was. Whatever it takes for us to hold that trophy, that's what I want, because I know championships last forever. And I look at what it's done for you and I. You know, that championship led us to our wives. You know,
very, very true.
You understand?
That's so accurate.
So for me to look at Antonio Brown playing with DeAndre Hopkins, DeAndre Hopkins is still too young for that. Antonio Brown, I think now being 30 and 31, and the fact that he couldn't get back in the league last year, and they're going to keep him out some more, which is rightfully so. You know, and the fact that you haven't, with all the crazy shit going on in this world, don't get me wrong, Antonio Brown is not even a blip on it. But why wouldn't Antonio Brown say some wild shit right now? Like the shit he was saying in 2019. This would be the perfect time for Antonio Brown to be going off. Because people would just be like, oh, Antonio Brown's going off. It would fit right in with Kanye and all the shit in Wyoming. It would fit perfectly in with that. Matter of fact, Antonio Brown's probably hanging out in Wyoming. We don't know. That's a joke. I'm just playing. So I know where he's at. Antonio Brown is chilling, trying to get Drew Rosenhaus back to do this last contract. I know what the fuck he's doing. So that's why it doesn't work, Chris, because the one thing about us at that position, there is no more diva personality in the game of football than a wide receiver. And the reason being because the majority of us don't figure out that we don't do what we do without 10 other guys. There's certain guys that figure that out, and those guys usually become Hall of Famers. The Jerry Rices, the Randy Mosses. Believe it or not, the Terrell Owenses of the world. Even as crazy in our debate, one of our favorite debates we had, who's the bigger asshole? I love them. I love them guys. I love both them guys. But the ability to know that, you know what? And this is the truth, and you know this. There were games early on in that season when it was just me playing with young guys, and I was like, damn, Walt's going off.
Yeah.
And then when we got to the back half of that season, there'll be games like, dude, he had 4 touchdowns in that game. And those were my favorite games. We played an Alaska game. Robert Red had 100 yards and like 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. And I remember him coming to the locker room. He looked at the stat sheet. I'll never forget this shit. And we were sitting in the locker room getting ready to go do our thing at Bones. And he said, dude, you had 4 touchdowns this game? I said, yeah, because they double covered you after you killed them. So all I did was run my routes.
Hold on.
We had the same stats. We literally had 4 touchdowns and 100 yards.
Can I tell you my favorite thing about arena football?
What's that, man?
Here's how I know the game was over and like we won, regardless of whenever I saw it, like during the game.
Are you gonna say like what I think I know?
So
and tell them the truth.
Whenever the defense would come off and like I'll go out and like the whole D line there, mind you, I'm not gonna sit here and brag. Like on a 3-person D line, I was the 3rd best. Now, mind you, on a 3-person D line, we were the 3 top D linemen in the entire fucking league, and I was the 3rd best on it. I knew the game was over regardless of whenever it was. It's when I would come off the sideline, I would come off the field, and mind you, we would have damn near paralyzed somebody on the field because myself, Mike Landry, and Mike Bazemore were honestly like the quarterback was a check, and we were trying our best to get back there to him. Mm-hmm. When I would come to the sideline and I would see Walt, no helmet, shoes off, legs just sprawled out, just like enjoying the atmosphere, I knew, all right, well, oh shit, the game's over. I can go get my money now. Like I can do some bullshit. And like when I would see Walt, and honestly, I never told Walt this, but like this made me more comfortable in the league to be myself. And this is when I start coming out with like the championship belts and doing these theatrics during like the intros and everything, because whenever Walt got comfortable, that means the game was over. And then that means I could be an asshole. So to come off the field and see Walt just stretched out, no shoes on, like no helmet anywhere to be seen.
Hey, don't forget, no shoulder pads. I would take
no shoulder pads on, no nothing. And like the head coach would look at Walt like, oh, well, yeah, the game is over. This is the second fucking quarter. I knew at that time, like, oh, I can go out and just be an asshole and talk shit to like the fans and talk shit to the center and do like obscene theatrics because, oh, Walt said the game's over. So, game's over.
I remember that there's only 2 times I ever had to put my pads back on. One was the 2010 when we played in the Sportsplex.
Yeah.
And we played in Arkansas, and I had like 4 in the first half because I went nuts in that one.
Yeah.
Remember I had hurt my ankle the week before.
Yep.
And God bless him. I can't wait to see him. But Travis Brown stepped in there and did my job as well as I could have did it in that game. And he was
Zach Morris of this AFL arena football shit, man.
Travis was taking them double teams. I was over here stand still like, oh man, I was like, you're gonna press me? I remember Chris looking over at me like, because obviously I had caught fire towards the end and we had gotten our chemistry,
Oh shit.
R.I.P. Carl Sims and and Spider Bloom and like we found ourselves, towards the second half of that year, just as an offense, and we still had the Tim Brown, and our whole line was as good as it was going to be, But I remember that game, and I remember just Chris was like, dude, you haven't been this open in a long time. And he was just throwing, and this corner, like, I don't even remember his name.
Oh, God. Ass.
I don't
Ass
care.
McGee.
But he was talking shit to me, and like, he didn't know who the fuck I was in my league. This was my league. And I was like, bro, y'all just got here. I don't even know how y'all got – I don't know how y'all got to this game, number one. But I said, he's like, oh, yeah, you ain't shit. I said, look here. First of all, I'm already pissed off that I'm not playing my spot. Number two, if you're going to press me all game, it's going to be a problem for you.
Real quick.
All I did was run fades on this guy and kill it. And Chris was like, "Oh my God, there's no safety help. He's just dropping these things just in the basket. Like I'm not even having to do any of this shit or dive. It's just like we had one in the game, Chris. I swear to God, where like it was a broken play, running around. I just threw the hand up because I knew Chris hated that, but I knew he was running around. And remember how we had the way the plex was? We had those tall windows.
Yeah.
So we had a line that was classified as off out. And Chris loved that shit with me, because this is back when I could still jump. And he would throw it right to a spot. He was like, well, if James doesn't get it, nobody's getting it.
Exactly.
He threw one, and I just went up and got it. Dude, with all that, shit, we're going to have a lot of fun when he's on the show, man. I can't wait to have Chris on the show. Because I'm going to let Chris talk his shit. Chris.
And that's the thing about it. He will.
I want him to talk his shit, man. And we're going to talk about everybody we love. And I will have so many topics. That's going to be a Facebook.
And that's the thing.
That show might go 3 hours.
And that's the thing. We're going to get some brown liquor in his ass. And he's all this community first and coach of the outlaw shit is going to go out the window. You're going to see the CD that we know.
Yeah. We'll do it for the 406, the first topic. And then once he didn't lean into one of his little drinks, then that's good. NFL show for 2 hours. We're just gonna talk. We're gonna shout out a lot of people on that show, and we're gonna tell the truth on that show. But Antonio Brown, here's another one too. Speaking of that, what if he goes back to New England? What if New England goes, you know what? Edelman and AB.
That's a very good fit.
Saying like there's teams where you're like, and then AB goes there. The point is, there's certain guys, and I think Antonio Brown, more than anybody this year, has the ability to take a team from we may make the playoffs to, okay, it's up to us. Do we find a way to beat Kansas City or beat San Francisco? Because that's the way it's looking right now.
Hold on. AB in New Orleans.
There you go. They worked them out too.
That's scary.
It's another one. Like there's like this guy. Once that AB game is
fits.
He's gonna be in. AB's gonna be in shape, man. This dude, he's 305, 786, baby, man. Like I have never not played with a skill guy from Miami that can't run all day. Okay, like there's never been a time that a guy like. It's just something. It's something that we used to say. This is what we used to say up north. Like you don't even know if you guys even knew this, Chris. But we said, man, there's something in that water in Florida.
So it's
whatever y'all drink down there in y'all area codes, whether it be 904 or 407 or 786 or 561, whatever it is, the 305. The whole state, y'all are drinking the same type of electrolytes. Ain't nobody else getting. There's something.
Bro, I'll speak to it. Like, and I guess because I got the most experience with it. Like in football, in Florida, you got two sports that you grow up like you play no matter what: football and baseball. Mm-hmm. Because year round, regardless of the team or anything else, football or baseball is something you can always play. Now, if you're black, more so it's football. But like myself, like up until high school, and my high school coach told me, like, dude, like I love having you out here, but I'm thinking football might be your meal ticket. Like, it's just like you go from a young age, because we start playing football at 4 or 5 years old. Shit, my nephew is 9 or 10, no, he's 10 now. And he's the number 3 corner in the fucking nation at 10 years old. Like, it's like, dude, like, football is just that rite of passage. Football gives you that sense of pride in the neighborhood, because you might grow up in a neighborhood with somebody, but you might be in a different park region, so y'all don't play on the same team. You got to be good enough to talk shit, because your homeboy who's 3 houses down plays at another team, and shit, if y'all don't beat nobody else, you got to beat him. Mm-hmm. Like, football is it, man. So, like, there's no real winter, because, like, the winter in Florida is 45, 40 degrees, which to everybody else in the country, that's like a spring day. To us, that shit's like a Green Bay winter for us. But there's football year-round, 7-on-7. Like, that shit came out with us in California first, because 7-on-7 leagues started in Florida and California around the same time. Now, here's what you don't know. During those 7-to-7 leagues, like the D linemen, O linemen, linebackers, we had our own leagues too, because like you're going one-on-ones every damn day because there's nothing else to do. So there is something in the water, because like there's nothing else to do. Like, it's either football, baseball, or bullshit. And bullshit encompasses a lot of things.
Word. So, I mean, with that being said, that's how I feel about Antonio Brown. And I know we've talked about him on this show, but I'm going to go ahead and say this, because it's going to lead me to the next topic that I want to talk about, is that I'm letting you know right now, and when I brought it up, because Chris just mentioned his name, I'm telling you right now, whatever team Antonio Brown goes to, and if it's the right team, you watch out. That team will be in the series. Will end up in the Final Four of whatever conference he's in, if it's the right team. And I can tell you right now, I'll do this. You know what? Let's go ahead and do this, because I've already done it, and it's setting me up for our next topic that we're going to talk about. This is going to be a long stream. The teams that have been mentioned. If Antonio Brown goes to the Seahawks will play in the Super Bowl. I said it. If Antonio Brown goes to the New England Patriots, the Patriots will be in the AFC Championship versus Chiefs. I'm not picking against the Chiefs yet. I just can't do that. They're doing too many good things with their money. They're like, fuck it. We're going to be the 49ers of the 80s right now. We're going to be the Cowboys of the 90s right now. We're going to make sure New England doesn't win shit as long as Bill Belichick has the ability to walk them sidelines right now. Antonio Brown can change that. And bet money Belichick's going, all right, we got a quarterback that gives us a different look that we haven't had ever. So that's another team. If Antonio Brown goes to the New Orleans Saints, the Saints will play in the Super Bowl. Okay? Yeah. Like, there's certain teams, like, and those are the 4 I'm going to name, because we could literally do an Antonio Brown show and go through all 32 teams, and maybe we'll do that. Because he's that type of game changer, because his ability to get open and run after the catch is as good as I've ever seen. Trust me, he affected an entire fantasy league just sitting on the bench. That was a roster spot. Somebody's like, I can't get rid of him. And I was like, I don't blame you. You don't know what's going to happen. Because he played one game with the Patriots and had a touchdown. And then was done.
Dolphins.
And that tough-ass playbook. But getting off Antonio Brown, I want to transition to an I told you so moment that we love to have here on What's Good America. Chris Turner and myself told you. We told you. We're going to go to a different sport. I said that Damian Lillard and the Portland Trail Blazers would come out of this pool play and they would play the LA Lakers. I fucking said this shit. Okay? This is a Sunday. My mom is not gonna like that F-bomb I just dropped. Callie just looked over. She was in the other room. She was like, damn, was that serious?
Hey, it's okay. I dropped the N-bomb twice already, so it's okay.
No, listen. I'm dead serious about this. Like, I knew what I said. Like, the fact that I don't even watch, look, America, I don't even watch our playbacks. It's like a blackout moment for me. What I said, it's on wax. It's there forever. Then you said, well, you said this. You know, I said it. I meant it. Me and Callie, we had a great conversation last night. You know, we're just talking about what's going on in the world. And I was like, you know what? I'm at the point where, you know what? Fuck it. I'll run for president.
Fuck it.
I was like, they're not going to like what I said about the anthem or the flag, but, you know, unlike what's going on in the world, yeah, I said it and I meant it. Now, do you want to talk about it? Do you have the ability to understand where I'm coming from? Or are you just going to be butthurt? So that's the point. But with this whole Dame Lillard thing, I fucking told you motherfuckers that they were going to come out of this because of who they had. And I'm going to double down on what I said. I said if Portland makes the playoffs, they will beat the Los Angeles Lakers. I am doubling down on it. It will happen. Listen, I love some of the things that I've seen. James Harden did and has done amazing things in the last few years when it comes to scoring the basketball. Okay? We have seen LeBron James go on runs where he does some ridiculous stuff. You know, we still have the essence of the great number 8 and 24. R.I.P. Kobe Bryant in the last decade. It's done some wonderful things. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you right now, Portland is built to beat the Lakers.
Yeah.
The way they are constructed. Their story is too good. You've got a guy who's arguably the MVP of this league every year. He just plays in Portland. Like, think about it. You know, Clyde Drexler knew he was never going to win an MVP.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, matter of fact, you can stat check me on this when you guys watch this, but I think Bill Walton is the only player in Portland history to win the MVP. I think he won it when they won.
That sounds about right, honestly.
Guys, that was like 1976. Like
Dr.
J had a big ass afro. It was
that sounds about right.
So I mean, I'm going there with that. Okay, so that's how Dame Lillard is the most important player to Portland, in my opinion, since Bill Walton. And that's not throwing shade on Clyde Drexler at all.
No, but that's a major statement because Clyde the Glide made black people realize Portland was in Oregon and like realize Oregon was a real state that had black people in it.
And Clyde was smooth. And Clyde played in 2 finals there. He just happened to run up against Isaiah one year.
And Mike.
And Michael. So basically he just ran up against Chicago and Chicago just had to put it on him. That's just all that happened to him every time. And that's okay. Those are good losses.
Why does it come back to Chicago?
Because, Chris, we are having a tough time, okay? Everybody sees the news. Chicago.
Shooting up funerals and bloody-ass weekends. Again. Like, why is it every time there's a shootout in Chicago, it's always the bloodiest fucking weekend?
I love my city. I love you guys. I always will. I'll always be there. But y'all are fucking up.
Yeah.
It's too much. And it's not those, I know it's not my friends and family, the ones that are doing the right things and being activists. Whoever is a part of the shit that happened on the Magnificent Mile and did what the fuck they did, whether it's some conspiracy government shit or some alt-right, alt-left, all these fucking terms. Like why, when did we learn all these computer terms? Alt is a fucking button on a computer. Like, I just looked down just to make sure it was on my laptop before I said this shit. Like, I'm tired of this shit. Okay, so Chris, I'm gonna take Chicago victories when I can take them. So that's why I went there. But
I got you.
When it comes to what we're talking about with Damian Lillard and what he is doing and what's happening right now and what he's done, he has absolutely made Adam Silver is right now sitting in his fucking Dr. Evil chair, swiveling around going, I got the team that I wanted to be. It was either them or he wanted Zion and them guys to be there.
Exactly.
He knew
oh,
what he was
shit,
trying
exactly.
to do out of that pool play. Why did the East? It was already decided. He knew what was going on in the West. There's certain guys where you're like, Damian Lillard's ability in the first couple of rounds to upset and beat teams, which he has done throughout his career.
Yeah.
You got LeBron James with this groin shit, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And look, that starting five of him and CJ, and it was James Bullock's brother, Brian. I give him credit that I saw on Facebook, so shout out to the Bullock boys. Brian said, oh, there's a lot of crickets about Carmelo Anthony lately.
It shouldn't be.
And then you got Zach Collins and Nurkic, who was fucking playing out of his mind. People forgot how good Nurkic was before he broke his leg. That five can handle Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and everybody the fuck else.
So let me play.
That's who their team
let me
is.
play
The
devil's
Lakers are
advocate.
LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and whoever the fuck else is on that team.
So let me play devil's advocate real quick, and then I'm pretty much going to hop right back on your side too. So I read a stat today that said against the Trailblazers in the Western Conference Finals or whatever, with the Pelicans, and the Pelicans swept the Trailblazers 4-0. Anthony Davis had 28, let's call it 29 points a game, about 12 rebounds, and about 5 assists a game. This is without Drew Holiday and without Boogie Cousins, because we know Boogie was hurt pretty much most of that last year. Now, I get that. I really do. Trust me, I really do. But at the same time, here's what I told my frat brother Didi, because we had this conversation the other day. Usually, in those 1-8 games, and I'm going to say this, and if anybody who's played the organized sport, you can disagree in public, but I know you agree when it's just us. When you're the number one seed, you know you're going to win. Like, you just have that arrogance about you, even if you don't say it. But you have that arrogance like, oh, yeah, we're going to win. Here's why I think the Trailblazers can, if not win, at least push it to like a game 7. Bitch, you're going to have to play every minute, every second of every game. Because if you put McCollum at just a true point guard and you let Dame Time be is just like this 2-guard, 1-guard hybrid, just kind of roam around, and you let Melo be Melo, you let Jerky do what he's been doing, like, you're going to have to play every game. And with Rhonda coming back after being quarantined or whatever the case may have been, a finger, whatever it is, like, somebody has a high chance of being hurt, hamstring, calf pull, Achilles, which I don't want that to happen. I don't wish injury on anybody. But what I know is when you're a number one seed, you shut it down the last couple of games. And Walt can speak to this too. Once we figured out, and I know everything, like, oh, you guys are so self-obsessed. You goddamn right we are, because we earned the right to be. But when we figured out we were the number one seed in football, oh, shit, then we're going to win, but we're going to win at a very cautious level. Like, we're going to win, we'll beat you by 4 or 5 touchdowns, but we could have beat you by 8 or 9, but we shut it down in the third quarter. And that's what the Lakers have been doing.
I'm going to cut you because this is interesting that you brought that up. So in the IFL, when I played, there were 3 times where I was the 1 seed. And in those games, in 08 and 09, there was never any worry of getting to the championship. They're just
no.
But in 2010, we got pushed. And it's funny that we're talking about who we're talking about. And you know who pushed us? And they had the lead on us. And then I finally looked at Chris and Coach O and I said, as a phrase that I came up with, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put this as a part of the PNC trademark because everybody knows this. This is shit. I never really said much on sidelines in games about getting the ball. I never had to because we were so good and we won and we partied and we had a ball. That's the only time that year that I had to say it. Because we got in that game, I think I caught a touchdown early, and Houston Lillard played his ass off. And Houston Lillard is the older brother of Damian Lillard.
Wow.
Houston, shout out to you. You know I love you. Listen, I'm down to 235 now. Houston, Steve Whitehead. If y'all want to come down here to Oakland, should we just go play for Marshawn's team, be some old guys, and go win a title? I'll get in shape. I'm only 15 pounds away from my playing weight now. It's a little different ball game. I just got to get strong again. But Houston and them guys balled out.
They pushed us.
That was the roughest game we had the entire playoff stretch, was the first round. Was them guys. Because we played them 3 times. And the 4th time they were like, oh, okay. Yeah, we got them. Like, we know what works. And we knew what worked. And it took me and Chris to look at each other because it was too close. And this is what Chris Turner's talking about, that, well, it's our destiny. We as a team had been through too much tornadoes and all sorts of foolishness that was going on in our locker rooms.
Cocaine.
And I looked at Chris and I said, hey, Chris, it's time to go to the money. And he was like, yep, let's go ahead and get you isolated. It's been fun getting everybody involved and doing. And I think I had 2 touchdowns to close out the game. And that's what Chris means by that. When you have the ability to know that, you know what, at the end of the day, we just have something that is better than what you have on your side. And I won't make Chris Dixon say this because this guy he's made a lot of stars and played with some great guys. But I'll go ahead and say it. The Chris Dixon, James Walton connection is the greatest in the history of the league. I'll say it. He doesn't have to say that because he has a lot of guys that he played with that I respect. Carl Sims, R.I.P. Clinton Solomon, who I absolutely adore and love solo. I really do. He's got some guys. Robert Reed, who I absolutely respect and love and adore. Anthony Candler, Willie Alston, Robert Red, Eric McCain when he came for his few games he played. Chris Dixon's thrown a lot of touchdowns to a lot of guys. He really has. But I'll say it, and I'm okay with that. Because it was just, with us, it was easy. Because there was no ego. There was no like, I had to get mine. It was just, hey,
money.
The route, the ball. If you run the route and you're open, the ball's already in the air. And it was the easiest 68 touchdowns I ever caught in my life. Because I've had seasons where I had to work. If you go back and look, Chris, if you go back and look, out of them 68, probably 60 of them, I was just running underneath it and 2 steps to the end zone. There wasn't too many times where I had to do some shit and make a move. Or even if I caught it in the middle of the field, like there was nothing but the end zone.
There was nothing there.
And quiet as kept, I was a 4-3. So I was always fast enough.
But I'm saying, well, like that's my point. And because I guess it's just a family trait. Like the Lillard family, this may go back to slavery times with the fucking Lillards, but
dude,
they played. Like they're going to play. Mind you, Dame's older brother Houston, we played against in Tri-Cities or whatever. He was an undersized quarterback. And when I lined up at nose guard, and I shit you not, and I saw like this kid back at quarterback, I fucking laughed my ass off because he was a little chubby ass quarterback. And I was like, I'm about to make about $800-900, maybe even $1,000 off this kid because I'm about to eat him for fucking lunch. This kid could move like the kid. He was a gamer. Like it didn't matter what we were fucking undefeated. It didn't matter that we had the number 1 offense and number 1 defense, number 1 special teams. None of that mattered. He wanted to play. He wanted to win. So that speaks to his younger brother, Dame Time, a.k.a. Logo Dame. Like, the kid wants to play. The kid wants to win. And there's nothing they can do or say that's going to stop that. Now, with that, the same conversation I was having with my frat brother, Dame he has a lot of, and this might be blasphemy saying, he has a lot of qualities that what's the asshole in Houston? I'm not a big fan of him.
James Harden?
No, the other one.
Russell Westbrook.
He has a lot of qualities that Russell Westbrook has, whereas if he's hot, he's hot. If he's not, he will shoot you out of a fucking game. Now, more so Russell than Dame, because Dame if he doesn't find it like in the beginning of third quarter, he'll distribute. But if he doesn't have it, here's the dangerous part. You haven't really seen Melo go off. And you know with Melo, it's there. And you know with Melo, especially against LeBron James, it's there. The last thing you need is for Dame to get hot, Melo to get hot, CJ to distribute, Jerkic, whatever, insert Russian, Indonesian name in here to do what he does, to get tip-ins. The last thing you need is for Portland to get confident and get hot, because it could easily be 4-1 Portland. Easily.
Yeah. Here's a couple things to play that where I do have to differ from you from this. Here's the difference, and I went to it just so to make sure I had stats. Here's the difference. Do they have the same mentality? Absolutely. They're, that alpha that they both have, and those guys have had battles. And Dame Lillard, and Russell, they go at each other. And maybe that's what I see. That's that Bay Area, Dame and Houston they're from Oakland area. Like that's a different upbringing.
Town business, I get it.
Okay, and that's where they come from. And that's why Houston looked at Chris and was like, we played against each other. I'm trying to beat you. It's personal because we go back, and Dame's that way. And Rusty's from LA. And they're both undersized guys.
Yep.
Well, not so much undersized, but under-recruited guys. Because Russ had to earn his way to UCLA to become the draft pick.
And Dame was at Weber State.
Dame played the Big Sky, bro. That's how I knew about Dame. I was like, who is this Damian Lillard? And then the next year, we're playing against his brother. I said, yo, your brother's killing it. He's like, he's Houston's real soft-spoken, too. He's like, hey.
Yeah.
So they come from the same type of pedigree. So I think it's a great comparison, Chris. But here's where you differ when you say this, because I'm going to read you certain percentages that Damian Lillard has this year. Damian Lillard shoots the ball from the field in general at a 46% clip, which is solid.
Yeah.
For the amount of shots he takes. He averages about 20 shots a game, and he makes 9.5 of them. That's solid. Here's the difference between both of them. Damian Lillard attempts 10 threes a game, Chris. He makes 4. He's a 40% three-point shooter.
That's not bad.
The entire year. This is not just the bubble. He shoots 40%, and he also shoots from half court and hits nothing but nylon.
Logo, baby. Difference. Logo.
I don't have to even look up Russell Westbrook's free throw percentage because I know what it is. It's been so ridiculously low by his standards. Russell Westbrook used to be about an 80, 82%. Damian Lillard is an 89% foul shooter. That basically means he makes 9 out of 10. So there's your difference. Damian Lillard has that. And I just think that LA, I guarantee you, LA was saying, please let it be Memphis because they're just they're too young. We don't have to work as hard. We'll have to work hard in spots. I know how LeBron James thinks because I know what it is to be the best player and be on a championship caliber type team where we don't have to struggle. And the 1 versus 8, it's not anything in the NBA that hasn't happened. Dikembe Mutombo found a way to beat Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. Baron Davis and one of the favorite teams in this area. They love what Steph and these guys have done. But that Baron Davis team with Steven Jackson and them guys, when they beat Dirk Nowitzki the year I think Dirk was the MVP of the league, they were 8 seed. Like, it just comes down to matchups, man. And the fact that Anthony Davis is going to have to play defense for 4 quarters because Nurkic –
all 4 quarters.
Nurkic and Jokic are the same player.
Yeah.
Like the true hoop heads that watch our show, they know this. But I'm going to do it for those that don't understand. Okay, Nurkic and Nikola Jokic. Jokic and Jokic. That's what's so crazy. These guys were on the same team. And they said, we can only pay one of these guys. And honestly, they didn't get it wrong because Jokic is a beast.
Facts.
Nurkic does the same shit. He affects the game with being 7 feet. Nurkic can give you 12, 13 assists and have
If
8
he wants
points.
to. Yep.
And these guys love playing with each other, and they love being the underdog because they know they are, because nobody wants to talk about them. And now you got Skip Bayless pissing off Dame Lillard. Like, that's all you need is Skip Bayless, all of you shit. Skip, you know I love you, but you need to leave Damian Lillard alone.
Yeah, for the sake of the Lakers, honestly.
Well, at the same time, knowing Skip, I'll give Skip credit. Maybe it's like, I'm going to piss off Damian Lillard so they beat the Lakers so I can fuck with Shannon for the rest of the playoffs.
True. Very true.
Skip is scandalous like that. Like, you know.
Very cerebral. Very cerebral.
So I just want this on wax because I'm okay with all my Lakers fans coming back to me and saying, you've been wrong twice. But I just want to make sure that it's here, that it's been heard, and this is the fact. The Portland Trail Blazers will beat the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, you going out just saying it's going to happen. I'm saying it's a possibility.
No, I said it. I said it a month and a half ago. I'm saying it now. Portland will win this series. The LA Lakers will not make it out of the first round.
Wow.
Period.
I am saying it's a possibility.
No, it's happening. And I am willing to put it on the line. But I will be the guy to go, you know what? If it doesn't happen, we'll do the show right that either that night or whatever day or whatever schedule is. And I go like, no, I was wrong. What's it going to do for me?
Right.
Outside of the fact, here's what it does for us, Chris. When I'm right, and I'm predicting shit in a Scooby-Doo t-shirt,
oh God.
At that point, it's fuck you, pay me. Because, like what? What are you going to say about anything I say on the air now? Like when I put my foot down on some shit and I tell you this is going to happen, this is what this show is. Okay? I like the way this show has gone today. Because we freestyled the last 2 topics after talking about Kama or Kima or whatever.
Regular Rhonda.
That was us sticking to it. And regular Rhonda. Like you could be a trend, regular Rhonda. I hope you're listening. But since we've gone to AB, I have made 2 predictions that I'm going to stand by. Antonio Brown, whatever team he goes to, and it depends on the team, and maybe we'll break it down team by team. And I can tell you no or yes. I have no problem doing that. That's an easy show. That'll take us an hour just doing Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown, once he is signed to certain teams, that team is automatically a Super Bowl contender. And I'm saying it right now with authority. I'm going to take a sip of White Claw. I'm going to take a sip of summer shandy. And with this fucking screwball in my hand, Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Carmelo Anthony, Zach Collins, and Nurkic. I think his first name's Yusuf. Yusuf, I don't want to.
Yusuf. Yes, Yusuf.
That starting 5 is better than the Lakers starting 5. And that's the bottom line. It just is. As great as, and listen, I'm picking against Chicago, Chris. Understand that. Anthony Davis is one of our greatest, and I love Embiid with all my heart. He's one of my favorite players. And I have a extreme like for LeBron James now that he's not in the Miami jersey. I just do. Okay? And I do root for the guy in certain things. But I mean, who's gonna win it for you? Danny Green? Alex Caruso?
Rhonda?
Deion Waiters thinks he's better than Anthony Davis right now.
Yeah.
Markieff Morris? Rajon Rondo, who can't hit an open jump shot?
No.
KCP?
No.
Kentavious Caldwell Pope?
No.
J.R. Smith.
Henny God. No.
And here's the other thing that I want to bring up that I know hoop heads appreciate. This is what's happening with a guy like a Damian Lillard, who he is probably the purest shooter that is in this playoffs right now, because we got a lot of people that are out and you don't have Golden State. These guys are playing in the same background.
Yeah.
And in the same building all the time.
Yep.
There's no home court advantage. This is how the Lakers get beat. There's no staples. LeBron James is a guy that feeds off the energy of what's going on. He's always been that way. And this is the difference. And this is what it shows. This will be a chip in his armor he's never had. It won't be the other finals losses. It'll be the fact that, and a guy like Skip Bayless who likes to shit on LeBron, like, I'm not shitting LeBron. I just know athletically his mentality, Chris. Like, he feeds off of that energy and talking to the fans and all that shit. Here's the thing about guys like myself. I'll kill you, period, because I'm better than you.
Point blank, period.
That's it. Like, let's just go ahead and get it out there. My fiance beat me in 18 holes of golf. Let's just go ahead and get it out there. It's out there.
I was trying to bring that
I
up.
pointed to her. She got me, and she whooped me. She got me by 2 strokes. I shot horribly. But she has been warned. You beat me, and I will give you credit. Like, if you want to keep poking the bear, don't understand. Like, the GOATs have all lost. Ali has lost in a boxing match. Jordan lost. But when you want to start coming at somebody like me, I make it personal, and then I talk shit. And then I make you feel bad about yourself. LeBron is not that guy. Damian Lillard is that guy. He's upset about what happened with the Clippers. He is mad. Like, those are the guys, you don't want to poke that guy. That guy that really wants to win all the time. Like, I've learned how to lose in my old age. It's made me a better person. It's the fact that I can marry the beautiful woman I'm going to marry. Because if she would have met me, and I always said this, do you, like, Chris, you've been around both of us. You love my fiance.
Very much so.
Would Kelly Pomeroy have even dated 2009 version?
Oh, God, no.
No, there's no chance.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Not only was I, like, I'm not going to say I was like a dick or asshole, but I knew I was good and I was going to do what I wanted to do. And then I would give warnings when I played. I would tell DBs, I was like, look, you got 3. And then if I go back to this bench and I say, this motherfucker's talking shit to me, like, I need to kill him for a quarter. Did you ever hear that from me? No. You know why? Because everybody fucking knew I was the best at what I did. I am and forever will be the CM Punk of everybody I'm around. I am the best in the world. That's what I feel about. Dame Lillard is the CM Punk of the NBA right now. This is it's the summer of Dame. It's the summer of Punk. He is basically, LeBron James is John Cena. It's fucking Chicago. And if Cena wins, we riot. That's what's going on. And that's what I believe with Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard by himself is going to put up great numbers, but he's got guys that know how to play with him. Like CJ gets his. Like, they just, dude, it's just, here's what's even better. I haven't watched a minute of NBA bubble. I've just seen scores. So the fact that I haven't even watched a playoff or a play-in game, I'm going to start watching now. I'm going to get my sling back up. I got to watch when they play. Because if I'm right, there's a whole lot of people in this world that can eat shit. I'm telling you that right now. You will never disrespect me again. I need this as much as Dame Lillard needs it. Because after that, don't ever discredit me. Don't ever disrespect me again. Because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I may not have a great fantasy team, Dallas Leslie every once in a while. But I know what the fuck I'm talking about. That's where I'm at right now. I'm very sensitive about this Dame Lillard time. This is the one I want. I want this show to be right about this upset. More than I've wanted what we've done with the HBCUs, more than when we talked about who was going to sign first, Cam. I want this prediction to be right. Because right here, and I'm telling you right now, we may not need no sponsors. I might have just legitimized us with this show.
True. Very true.
At some point, you never know. Joe Rogan might go, I need to talk to that guy with the Scooby-Doo shirt and that big-ass swole dude. Maybe he'll get in the Ultimate Fighting Ring or some shit.
And on that note, we will conclude what's good in America, but we cannot conclude it without Give Me a Minute. So, Walt, would you like to go first or would you like to go second?
Man, I don't know. I feel like I just did like 3 Give Me a Minutes in a row on that last topic. So
you know what?
I'm gonna go second on this one because I think you beat the window, man.
All right, I'll go first. America, give me a minute. I've noticed, and I had a whole different give me a minute when this first started, but like the whole topic of regular Rhonda, and I'm just going regular Rhonda just off the looks alone, not the money or anything else. It made me have to think of like who my regular Rhondas would be. So to give you my regular Rhondas, I was actually like, if you ever see me writing down on screen, because we do this whole simulcast thing, which look out for the YouTube page because it's guess what, bitch, it's out. You can go to What's Good America on the YouTube. Anyway, if you ever see me writing some shit down, that just means I got an idea for another show or I got my give me a minute and my give me a minute change. So my give me a minute for today is my 5 because it was going to be 1 and then I just kept going. The 5 women I would pick for my regular Rhondas. In no particular order. So my 5. 1. Matter of fact, here's in order. Rachel Ray. Rachel Ray will be number 1 on my regular Rhonda because Rachel Ray, she's cute, but she's not like superstar quality or whatever, but she's fucking cute. So Rachel Ray.
She's running the point, huh?
She's running the point right now because she can make you a 5-course meal in 30 minutes. So Rachel Ray. 2, Raven Simone. I get it. She's fucking out the window and she's weird as shit now, but Raven Simone has been a crush of mine since I've been a kid. My wife knows it. We've come to terms with it. We've dealt with it, whatever. 3, Ellen. Oh, Ellen's gay as fuck. I don't give a damn. Ellen has a great personality and I feel like we can hang out. That's just my thing. 4, Anna Kendrick. I don't know. Something about that weird bitch. She just does it for me. She just does it.
Got her starting at the 4, the Tim Duncan spot.
Exactly. That means she's a key player. Hey, and 5, my stability, what holds the whole team together? Martha Stewart. Martha fucking Stewart. Like any chick that can do time, not snitch on nobody, keep it all together, and then still come back and do multi-millions to hang out with Snoop Dogg, I got to hang out with. So that's my regular Rhondas. That's who I would sneak into the NFL bubble. I know it's random, but that's my 5. America, that's been my give me a minute.
Oh, my God. I didn't know that's what you were going to do. I did not know that's what you were going to do. That's good. Oh, Callie's going to love that playback. Hey, babe, he did a regular Rhonda starting 5. You're going to love that shit. That was good. That was really good, man. Man, that was good. I guess I should get ready for mine here.
Yeah, that might help.
So, oh yeah, babe, we still recording. It's all good. I'm about to get off here. I'm about to do my give me a minute. I told her what I was going to probably do on mine, and based on just the way these things were going, I got to say something. So Let me do what I do best. Take this sip. And because of where I'm going with this, I need a little bit harder sip. America, give me a minute. 2020 has been hard. You know, it's been really hard. It's, what can you do sometimes, you know? But after having a 2019 like I had, you know, losing a Chicagoan in my life, I am on the verge of losing another Chicago. And I just don't know how to deal with it, Chris. And I'm gonna bring up this name, and I'm gonna really talk about the fact that he predicted his demise. Kanye West. Now, I want to put into context with Kanye West the things that he has been capable of in positive energy. Truman State University is in the middle of nowhere, cornfield, Missouri. Okay, like I'm talking like where they would play like tip the cow games, like that type of, you know. No disrespect to those that are still tipping cows, but I'm from Chicago. Doesn't sound like I'm from Chicago, but why would I walk up on a cow? You know, the only thing I need with a cow is milk in my hamburger. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good, right? Or my steak. Kanye West in 2004, when the college dropout hit, it was the first time in the history of me partying at Truman State where I saw that a hip hop artist could have the blacks and the whites all hang together and drink. You put Kanye West, college dropout in the background, everybody would sit in a circle and just shoot the shit with each other, have a ball. That is the effect of Kanye West. I was watching him because I like watching an episode on the hip hop Netflix thing, hip hop history, and just talking about how he came up and the fact that, you know, this guy did do Jesus walks. You know what I mean? Obviously, the first, in my opinion, of our era, Chris, the first credible hip hop rap record was Kirk Franklin's Stomp. You know, I promise the stomp, the whole stomp, nothing but the stomp. You know, you know what I'm saying? You know, my folks, you know what I'm saying? My folks know that was a big deal. He had Salt from Salt and Pepper on there rapping on that. You know, like that was a big deal in the 90s, you know. And then Kanye does Jesus Walks, okay? This is the guy that brought, you know, the feeling of a Coldplay, Queen feel, you know, the stadium rap. This guy has influenced all the artists, a lot of artists. There's one artist in particular that we all still listen to and we all, you know, mess with because he is unequivocally the king right now. You know, his impact on Aubrey Graham, Drake, is known, okay? And I always bring this album up, you know, because I'm glad that I didn't meet my soon-to-be wife when 808s and Heartbreaks came out. You know, changed the game. It's the saddest rap album I heard in my life. And I know, because I didn't even know who Callie Pomeroy was at that point. But I know I went through a horrible heartbreak. And I was, hey, 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 hey. Just say you will. That first song, boy, listen, you ain't never seen no sadder shit. I was living in Champaign, Illinois, Chris. You had 5 dudes going through breakups at the same time. Drinking.
That's not good.
Burnett's, cherry vodka, and Rockstar energy drinks. We used to call them Trey Rods. That was the drink.
Nothing about that sounds good.
No, it was not good. We were all emotionally damaged from that. It took some recovery. Everybody is now dating or on the way to marriage now. It just took, 12 but we all right now. So the impact this guy has had has been incredible. But the things that have come out of his mouth recently, it's at the point of it was like watching R. Kelly talking to Gayle King. Like it's at that point where you're just it's nothing more. He's close. But I will say this to defend him. One, he predicted his future. I had to pull it up just to make sure I said it right. Chris, this guy, you know, who made one of the dopest albums, shout out Common, my guy, Lonnie Lynn, he wrote a lyric. And I heard it this week. I was listening to my stuff, you know, saying, doing my route. He wrote a lyric about what he's actually going through right now. And here's the lyric, Chris. They say because of the fame and stardom, I'm somewhere in between the church and a sane asylum. I guess it's messing with my health then. And this verse is so crazy when I finish, I'm going to check myself in again. Are you kidding me? Remember Kanye West was throwing all them church concerts in the middle of California?
I do.
And now he's out in Wyoming in his own, like, self-asylum. Did this dude know that he was going to marry? I mean, and I've heard stories that he's always been obsessed with Kim Kardashian, you know, the whole nine. Did he, like, know, like, he was going to be in this position? And he, like, did some is Kanye West a time traveler? Did he Back to the Future us 15 years ago?
I hope not.
I don't know. All I'm saying to you is this is a plea for me, Kanye. Remember when you got on MTV and you said George Bush doesn't care about black people? Remember when you rapped a song with your jaw wired shut and it was like the verse of the year in the source?
Mm-hmm.
What if somebody on the shot that was ill got a deal on the hottest rap label around? Remember when you were telling us about walking with Jesus? Remember when you had Jamie Foxx singing hooks, talking about she wants some Marvin Gaye, some Luther Vandross, a little Anita, will definitely set this party off right. Remember when you made that song recently? I miss the old Kanye. I hate the new Kanye. Remember when you actually admitted that this shit is going on? Remember when you told us nothing is ever promised tomorrow today? Remember when you said we could touch the sky?
Yeah.
If Magic Johnson got AIDS and all the broke motherfuckers pass away, this is my plea to you because my city is in trouble. And I see the way that my city's rolling is the same way your life is rolling, man. You know what? You married a Kardashian. You chose that life. I honestly don't think your life is that bad. You're a billionaire, man. Kanye, this is my plea to you as somebody who actually gives a shit about your well-being and doesn't even know you. I need you to finally admit what I already know. I understand when you lost Mama West, and I understand what that did because you wrote 808s and Heartbreaks. And it is okay, man. As somebody that has been through some shit and understands what it takes, dude, can we get the college dropout too? Because I can't take no more black skinhead. I'm at that point. Kanye, Chicago needs you. We need you. Get the help you need. Get that lithium in you. Do something. Because if I have to give up the college dropout and late registration and that third album, I already forgot the name of it because now I'm at that point. What's the third album? You know, but you know, because you know, every time I go and it's surprising and I don't know the words. What do I know? Flashing lights.
Lights.
Man. I mean, if I played the song right now, I'd do all the lyrics, but I just forgot all them shits right there. Sorry, Kanye. We need that Kanye. My fiance's favorite album is My Twisted Dark. Was it, babe? My Twisted Dark Fantasy?
Yeah.
My Dark Twisted Fantasy. She loves that album. That's the Kanye West the world needs. It can help us get through this shit we're getting through right now. Having Dave Chappelle come out there and making him do jokes on the spot in Wyoming, that's not helping our situation. You running for president is not helping us. Hey, go back to doing what your label's called, good music. We need you. I miss the old Kanye. And that's where I'm at, Chris. Like I didn't think there was any way to be funny about that. It's just, I heard that lyric and I was like, this dude predicted his future 15 years ago. That's fucking incredible.
Nah, that's real, dude. Like it is what it is. Like you'll get a college dropout too the same day you get the new Dre album, because that Dre album is needed to come out 20 years ago. So you'll get them at the same time.
We need them soul samples back. Like, we need that Kanye back, man. Like, music needs the college dropout.
Yeah, I agree.
Dude, this has been a fun-ass 2 hours, man. Like, we went in, man. I like it.
It has been two. No, I ain't going to sit here. Like, I looked at it like at 30 minutes. I'm like, damn, I'm going to do a whole hour. And now we're going through almost 2 hours. So,
yeah, we can
America, this is what we do.
We can drop these segments all through America. We hit you with one, man. You're going to see segments drop daily now.
This is what we do. This is What's Good America. Make sure you check out our YouTube page, bitch. Yeah, look for What's Good America on YouTube.
Good America on YouTube.
You know what I'm saying?
That just happened.
Check out the daily content on YouTube. What's Good America? You know what it is. Be a real American. Subscribe. Make sure you leave us a message.
Hey,
check us out on Anchor FM.
Hey, Chris, can I do a shout out?
That's where we get paid from. Go ahead.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
And then get back. Hey, I want to shout out my junior high teammate. Every time, listen. Every time I share a link, he shares it back. My boy Jason Cordy. We used to call him Jason Corte because RIP, our coach, Mr. Miller, our basketball coach, couldn't say his name right. He just called him Corte. Jason Cordy, I want to let you know, I'm seeing that you sharing every time I share something. Bro, I miss you. I love you. You're still one of the best athletes I ever seen in my life. Bro, do me a favor. Make sure you come to the high school reunion next year. I just want to shout out my boy Jason Cordy, man, because he shares. Shout out to Mike Bazemore. We got to have the Baze files back on at some point. I know we were trying to get it hooked up. We'll get Baze back on, man. And Mike Bogan, I don't know if you are listening to my voicemails, if you seeing me when I'm sharing this shit, Mike, I want you on the show, man. I want to talk about rap and the Clippers, man. I'm with you this year. All right, go ahead.
So, Anchor FM. Download Anchor on iTunes, Google, Android, iTunes, all that shit. Download Anchor. Make sure we're your favorite on Anchor. It's free to download. Look for What's Good America. It costs you nothing, but it gains us everything. So, Anchor, YouTube. Catch us on the Facebook page of What's Good America. Leave us a comment. Send us a message. If you say something negative, make sure that you at me first so I can find your punk ass. So, this has been episode, let's just call it 27. I don't know really what it is, but we're going to call it 27. This has been episode 27 of What's Good America, and the name of this episode is Regular Rhonda. So, I am C. Turner. That is Big Gay James Madison Walton III. This has been another episode of What's Good America. Like we always ask you, man, what's good, America?
What's good, America?